Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about this, the brand new Milwaukee M18 Brushless String Trimmer, model number 2828. We're going to go pretty much over it, show you what it's all about, maybe some videos and stuff like that. And we're really going to get into it, so stay tuned. All right, you guys, so Milwaukee has released a new M18 brushless string trimmer. This is a non-fuel model, okay? It used to be all the brushless stuff was fuel. It's not like that so much these days anymore, but all fuel stuff is brushless. This string trimmer here, model number 2828, is brushless, but it is not fuel, okay? So make sure you keep that in mind. This is not meant to replace the fuel. This is just in their non-fuel lineup, okay? The fuel model right now is the quick lock system with the motor and everything at the back and the change out attachment heads and things like that. But this one is a dedicated string trimmer, okay? So let's get into it. So this is the box that it comes in. It's probably a good dimension right now. This is not sponsored. Nobody sent this to us. We picked this up with our own monies at the depot, okay? So when you get it, you pretty much buy this box. Look how tiny this box is for a string trimmer. I mean, if you're packaging a string trimmer, you would not think that you would fit one in this box, but this entire system fits in this box, okay? And it's got the pretty much standard stuff that you would think, but we'll go into that. It has the Milwaukee warranty. Usually, I mean, most of the people are generally familiar with the 5-year warranty and 5- and 3-year warranty. This one is a 3-year warranty on the tool and a 3-year warranty on the battery. Okay, let's go over some of the quick specs and we'll get rid of the box and really get into it. So this is, like I said, brushless, a dedicated string trimmer. The motor for it is on the head, okay? This is a 2-speed model Turtle, which goes 0 to 4600, and fast Rabbit 0 to 6200. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say the trigger on it, the trigger lag, the trigger response, delay, whatever you want to call it, is actually not that bad, which means it's actually really good, okay? So because it has a really nice trigger, you can pretty much use it on high and get really nice control and reactiveness and things like that, almost like a gas string trimmer or weed eater. With that being said, no one actually uses a string trimmer on low, so we don't need to visit that too much. Out of the box, it comes with a 14-inch cutting swath. You can obviously pull the 2 screws out and flip it over and you can change to 16. Did that immediately. If I were you, I would definitely go ahead and do that. It takes up to 0.080 up to 0.095 line. It does come with some line. We used it. It doesn't work very well. It actually, I think, makes the trimmer vibrate a lot more, and it frays very easily. So immediately, just use it up right away, just edging along, because that always eats up the line. Got rid of that line real quick, and then replace it with some Husqvarna line. But we'll get more into that. It is a bump feed system, standard bump feed head that you see on the Milwaukee Fuel string trimmers. I mean, it's a pretty nice head, I would say, but I personally don't like the head too much, but I'm used to more of a different kind of head. Anyways, the other thing you gotta note here is the length with the battery in it is 73.6 inches. So that's almost standard length. I want to say for me, I'm about 5'11", and it is a little short for me, so I'm hunched over a little bit. We'll talk into that. But with the battery that it comes with, the XC high output 6 amp hour battery, it weighs in at about 11.5 pounds. Okay, let's get rid of this box. Let's talk about some more before we really get into it. Like I said, it comes with this high output XC 6 amp hour battery. Comes with a standard M12 M18 charger. This is not the fast charger, not rapid charge. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. And here itself is a string trimmer. So obviously, in order to fit this in order to fit it in, I mean, it comes folded. The handle is not on, the blade guard, brush guard, or whatever you call it, is not on. You have to assemble it. And to assemble it, you need to use a Torx T30 bit. Okay, there's screws in there that you fit, and it makes quick work, but let's bring you in closer. All right, you guys, so let's go take a look at it. So here, this right here is obviously the rear end of the string trimmer, right? It's got the Milwaukee logo, brushless, battery plugs in right here. It's pretty simple, nothing too interesting, no frills. This plugs in, all right? So it does come with a 6 amp hour battery, and it does balance pretty okay if you put it at the right balance point. If you do try to use it with a 12-volt battery, it does get pretty heavy, not super fast, but I mean, you're definitely going to be feeling it later. I wouldn't use it with anything less than a 6.0 because it does seem like it really needs a high output on the motor if you really want to get that power. I did use it with a 6, a 5, an 8, and a 12, and I would definitely go with the 6 or an 8 if you can, okay? Nothing too interesting there. Here is the safety, all right? So the safety is a grip safety, so it's actually a really nice safety, all right? It just doesn't have that weird thing that some electric or other string trimmers may have where you kind of push like a lever here or a button here or something like that. It's a really nice safety, grip safety, and the trigger response is pretty good. We're gonna get into that in a bit, all right? Here is the rabbit. So this is high speed, this is low speed. Almost always exclusively using it on rabbit, especially with the trigger response. I mean, it's pretty nice. Nothing to worry about on low. I actually don't think I know anyone that uses it on low. All right, and this is pretty much the handle, or where you put the grip or the handle for that. And they actually put a little sticker here that says place handle here. All right, so I've obviously moved mine up. I'm 5'11". I felt that it being down here a little bit was a little too short for me in a way, so I kind of felt like I needed to move it up, so I moved mine up. So I mean, obviously you need to do whatever fits best for you. It's just a standard handle. It's not super rubberized or anything. It's a hard plastic, no frills. The way it attaches is 2 bolts, 2 T30 bolts that go through here, through this metal bracket, and then the handle part right here, I'm not sure how well it's going to show, it actually has the, holds the nuts that actually the bolts thread into. So I mean, it's pretty standard Milwaukee handle here. Nothing too interesting to worry about. All right, so here is where the string trimmer and everything really connects. All right, so obviously when it comes in the box, it comes folded. All you have to do is unfold it, put the bolt through here. All right, and the bolts that come with it do seem like it has the thread lock or the Loctite really on it, because there's a little blue, I'm not sure how well it's going to show, and it's designed to really stay in there. All right, so the bolt goes through here, holds that piece, and there are bolts, 2 bolts on each side, one right here and one right here, that really hold it and make it really stable, okay? This thing right here is a hard plastic. I'm not sure if it's glass reinforced. It's not metal by any means, but it's hard plastic. And this is not really designed to be taken apart and put back all the time, okay? So if you're looking for like a string trimmer that you can really fold up and then unfold all the time, or make it shorter because you need to fit it in a small car or something like that, this is not gonna be the string trimmer for you. If you need something like that, maybe the Fuel Quick Lock or the DeWalt foldable one or whatnot is maybe a better fit. But anyways, this is really more of designed to be installed once and then done, okay? I don't really see any issue with it. It doesn't seem like it's gonna break or anything like that anytime soon, although it is plastic, but it's a pretty stable build. All right, guys, so here is the head of the string trimmer, all right? So the head of the string trimmer, the business end of it, if you wanna call it, obviously right here, it's gonna say brushless, and it's got vents on the top. See 4 vents right there, and it's also got vents on the side. Okay, this one is a little bit dirty. I probably need to clean up with the brush or whatnot, but that's generally what you get when you have the head at the or the motor at the head of the string trimmer, because obviously you got to get the air flow through there to cool it down and fun things like that. This one's a little bit dirty. We've used it quite a lot. Okay, so with this being said, usually I think I posted a video maybe 1 or 2 years ago. The string trimmers with the heads or the motor near the heads are usually a lot smoother, okay? Mainly because it doesn't have that drive shaft going all the way down the shaft and the motor at the back, right? So that usually causes some vibration. This one is, I feel like it's a lot smoother than the Fuel model with the Fuel Quick Lock model and the non-Quick Lock model with the motor at the back, because the head is here, but I feel like it is not as smooth as it could be, okay? There are models where I feel like the operation of everything spinning is a lot smooth. Like for instance, the Makita one is really smooth, even though the motor is at the back, or the one with the motor at the back. And the one that they have in the front here, the model with the 36 volts with the motor at the head, is also really smooth. I would if you're looking for a really smooth string trimmer, I would not go with this. I would probably go with the Makita one. or even the DeWalt one I think is really smooth, okay? So this one obviously is also a little bit offset right here. See, as you can see, the motor's right here and the head is right here. It's a little bit offset, but no maintenance is really required. You don't have to put in like grease or maintain a gearbox or any of that, okay? So make sure you keep that in mind. Almost no maintenance except just brush off the air vents and things like that, okay? Obviously, this is the guard. I'm really not a big fan of this guard because this guard just seems huge. I'm usually a fan of no guard or a really small guard. So when you get it out of the box, like I said, it's 14-inch cutting swath. Obviously, you flip it over, take these screws out and flip this over and then put the screws back. It'll make it into a 16-inch cutting swath, all right? I did leave it on here mainly to have the line trimmed out and stuff like that. But if you can, or if you're okay with using it without the guard, I mean, I think if you can do that, then you probably will be buying this string trimmer. But to each their own, okay? So in order to assemble the guard, you have to put in 4 T30 screws here, okay? And it comes with the screws, obviously, and a little thing to turn the stuff, but if you want to just do it quick with the screwdriver or like a impact or a drill or something, obviously that works fine. This is the head. This is the standard head that comes with almost all the Milwaukee string trimmers right now, okay? This is not their first head, but this is the head that they use right now. It's a quick wind head, which means you pretty much line up. Let's see if I can get it to show here. See, there's like little red lines here, and you kind of line it up. And if I may, you kind of lined up here, put the string through, and then you wind, and the string goes in here, okay? So it holds roughly around 25 feet of line, which is quite a good amount of line, if you think about it, but it holds a good amount of line. Obviously, it's a bump feed head. The bump feed works really well. No big issues or anything with that. I will go ahead and say, with the line that comes with it, it's a red spiral twisted line, okay? I'm not sure if Milwaukee makes it or it's Milwaukee branded or whatnot, but it does come with it. And it gums up in the head quite often. I did have to take the head apart and then either yank this out really hard to make it feed or rewind the line multiple times. And that's usually a problem you get with twisted or spiral line. It usually gets stuck in the head for bump feed heads. So I personally didn't like the line. Also, the line wasn't really great because I felt like it made the string trimmer vibrate quite a bit, all right? And I did make sure that the lines were even and all that fun stuff, but it didn't really seem to work really well. So we use that line to just edge along the edge of the grass, because obviously that eats up line faster than other stuff, and just got rid of that really fast and replaced it with this Husqvarna titanium, I think it's like 0.095 line. This line actually works really well. I do really like this line. I think it's probably my favorite line right now. So if you want some good line, I would just make sure you go with this. And I would definitely go with 0.095, okay? I think it definitely reduces the run time and things like that, but the performance you get out of 0.095 line and a 16-inch swath, I think that's where you need to be, especially on battery-powered string trimmers, okay? So this head, I mean, there's obviously nothing really wrong with the head. It's a pretty nice head. You just, like I said, you just wind it, fun stuff like that, but I'm not a big fan of this head. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. I just personally don't prefer it. I feel like it's a little big or clunky. Definitely like the speed feed heads or like the Husqvarna T35 or T25 heads. You don't need to replace it. I can't imagine this wearing out too quickly. If you're bumping it always on concrete, you're probably going to wear it out faster than others. A quick tip is you could just get like a sheet metal screw or a large bolt or something like that, and just put it right here in the middle. That way, when you tap it, you're really wearing out the head of that screw instead of the plastic. That's just a quick hack or a quick tip that a lot of the pros and things like that use. I didn't do that on here because I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep it or return it, but you can do that if you did want to do that, okay? Even if I do keep it, I probably won't do that because I'll just use it until it wears out and replace it with maybe a better head, okay? All right, so let's get into the trigger response. Like I said, the trigger response or trigger lag or throttle control, whatever you want to call it, is actually really nice on this trimmer. I think it's almost as good, if not better, than the DeWalt 60-volt one, okay? There's some really bad ones out there. I'm probably not going to name out some of them, but there's also some really nice ones out there, right, for a battery-powered one, right? Obviously, if you're if you're used to like a steel or Echo like gas trim or whatnot, you're probably like feathering it or whatnot, and you can really get the control that you really want, okay? And this one is actually really, really close to that. Personally, I really like the Makita one and the DeWalt one. I haven't really found the Milwaukee one that I liked until this one, but we'll show you that real quick. So we're gonna drop in the 6 amp hour battery. It may get a little loud, just FYI, okay? So there's no on-off button or anything like that, like some of the trimmers have, like the Makita one. This is just a batteries in, and if you put the safety down, this is pretty much gonna be good to go. All right, so we're gonna be in rabbit mode, all right? So just check out how quickly it ramps up and pretty much how the response really goes, all right? So watch this. I'll do it with this hand so you can kind of see what's going on. So you saw that the trigger is actually really nice. It doesn't have like, you gotta press it and you gotta wait like a quarter second or a millisecond or whatever it is to get that feel. It's almost instantaneous, as you would expect. Even some of the gas ones aren't even that nice, because the gas ones also have some of that lag on it. But this one actually is really, really nice. Just to give you a comparison, let me go grab the DeWalt FlexVolt string trimmer, my go-to string trimmer, and then we'll look at that. All right, so this is the DeWalt 60-volt brushless string trimmer, okay? This is the first generation one. I know they have a newer one with the motor and everything at the back, but this is not that. This one, the motor is at the head, okay? It's on high, none of that on, off madness. It's just, you just put the safety and it's good to go. All right, here we go. So obviously, it's actually really nice. This is pretty much my go-to string trimmer, and I use this one all the time. Also, sometimes switch between this one and Makita, depending on what you're really doing. This one is probably like the powerhouse, okay? Motor is also at the head here. The Makita one, it actually just feels more refined. I'm not sure how much it's really gonna come through on video on the feel or the sound of the power. You're gonna have to we'll try to make it come out as raw as possible without blasting your ears. But the DeWalt one definitely feels much stronger, okay? And I can definitely tell you from experience using it, this one is a powerhouse, okay? It can't really compare the power on the new Milwaukee one to this one, but obviously this one operates it on 60 volts, but obviously that's not the most important thing. Okay, so we'll get rid of that one here real quick. So just talking about power again real quick. So this one definitely doesn't feel as strong as the brushless M18 Fuel Quick Lock model, okay? That one definitely, I feel like, because the motor and the kinetic and the shaft going down the middle and the kinetic energy, I feel like it's able to keep that blade speed up or the head speed up and then maintain that power pretty well. So even if it feels powerful, or even if this one feels powerful, I think the M18 Fuel Quick Lock and the non-Quick Lock model are definitely more powerful. Having owned both of them, or all of these string trimmers before, I can definitely tell you this one is not as powerful. But it doesn't mean that this is any slouch, okay? This is no slouch. Being on the M18 platform, you would not, if you were using this and it was like you were blindfolded, you would not think that this is an M18 trimmer, okay? So like, for instance, if you're trying to compare it to the Ryobi 1 Plus 18 volt system, not even a comparison, world of difference, okay? I understand that's a different brand and it's a more DIY or a homeowner type brand. I think people hate it when people say that, but this is a top tier brand, but is in a way, but it does not feel like an M18 string trimmer, okay? It does not feel like an 18 volt string trimmer, okay? It does have enough power to get almost all the jobs done that you would probably need to do. I mean, I was able to clear part of a ditch bank works really well, and even some small saplings to small trees, okay? There's no issue with the power here, okay? If you're just going into like a huge ditch make, an overgrowth space, and you're trying to slash it all down before you mow it up or whatnot, then you're obviously not going to be reaching for something like this. You're probably definitely going gas, or probably one of the more powerful string trimmers. But for the average person, or even better than the average person, as long as you're not trying to cut down some overgrowth stuff on a regular basis, this is going to be more than enough to get you there. Okay, power is there. Like I said, it doesn't have that kinetic energy with everything spinning on like M18 fuel models, but it does work pretty well. You do feel still a little bit of vibration. Like I said, it's nowhere nearly, I feel like, as refined as the Makita, but it is a very good string trimmer, and I mean, I don't think you can really go wrong with it. For 250 bucks, I believe, it's a great system. Obviously, if you're an M18 platform, you could use almost all of the high output batteries with it. I would not use anything lower than a 6 amp hour battery, as mentioned before. So anyways, right now I think it's sold at the depot as a kit. I think you can buy it online as a tool only, but if you're in the market for a string trimmer and you're in the M18 platform and you like a really nice system, I guess I would definitely go with this. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it, if anything like that. So like I said, this is a really nice system. If you're in the market for a string trimmer and that's in your price range, I would obviously go with this. I would definitely go with this over the 18 volt Makita one. I would not go with this over the fuel models. Okay, the fuel models definitely seem to have more power. I would not go with this over the 60 volt DeWalt flex volt stuff. I feel like I would definitely go with this one over the 20 volt models. Okay, I definitely just feel like it's more powerful, just a little more power there, and the throttle actually, the trigger response is actually really great. It does have the 3-year tool warranty and the 3-year battery warranty, so it's a pretty good system. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. So hope this video's helped you guys out, and see you guys next time.